grant money.
I call the regular meeting of the Ascension Parish Council Tuesday, February 15th to order, please. Councilman, before we start, I would like to tell you that item 14 will be passed on tonight. Item 14. Our invocation tonight will be led by Chief James LeBon, Santa Monica Fire Department Chief, Constable of the Santa Monica Galvez area, and Chairman of the Fire Board. Chief.
Thank you so much. If you would, please bow your heads. Gracious Heavenly Father, in your sight, nations rise and fall. Now when our land is troubled, be near to judge and save. May leaders be led by your wisdom. May they search your will and see it clearly. Tonight I ask you to bless our parish president, our parish council, and their entire staff. I also ask that you bless our great state of Louisiana and our great parish of Ascension. I ask you to bless our wonderful firefighters and law enforcement agencies serving Ascension Parish streets on a daily basis. Tonight, Father, I also ask that you keep the James Nash family in your prayers, one of our Department of Public Works workers. Father, bless our troops wherever they may be defending our country, and bless their families as we pray daily as a community that these men and women come home safe to their families. Give us your light and your truth to guide us through Jesus Christ, who is Lord of the world and Savior. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Chief. Our pledge tonight will be led by the Boy Scouts from the Struma Area Council, Cypress Shoal District.
Color guard, attention. Color guard, advance. Color guard, halt. Halt. Post the colors. Put your hand over your heart for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Color guard, return to post. Color guard, halt. Color guard, advance.
Thank you, man. Roll call tonight, Ms. Sunman. I have Councilman Kent Shakespeare, who is working. I have Councilman Dempsey Lambert working, Councilman George Valentine working, and Councilman Benny Johnson held up in traffic on the way. I don't have any chair additions tonight. Public comment period. Anyone wish to speak on any agenda item, please sign in. You'll be allotted 3 minutes. We'll get into our presentation part of the agenda. Tonight we have a certificate of recognition to Sarah Guidry family, please. Chief LeBlanc.
Council, I've come before you several times and I've explained to you that the The fire departments in Ascension Parish respond to anywhere between 8 to 10 calls a day in Ascension Parish, most of those being first responder calls responding to serious accidents. On January the 29th, in the Santa Maria community on Highway 22 is no different. Santa Maria Fire Department was dispatched to a major accident, head-on collision. Santa Maria Fire Department arrives on scene, finds two vehicles at least 500 to 700 yards apart. Both vehicles totally destroyed, and you can see this is vehicle number one, which is one of our elderly residents that lived in the Santa Maria community. He actually had to be extricated out of this vehicle. You can keep going, Lester. And also he was air meted out to a local hospital. But you know, I've told you before, you know, I've been fire chief in Ascension Parish for 26 years, and it's been a long time since I've seen the vehicles that was involved in this accident tore up as bad as they were. As you can see on the screen, this is the vehicle that the Guidry family was in with 3 small children. And council and residents of Ascension Parish, the reason why we're here tonight is because Miss Guidry took the time, like most of us do, she took the time to get these kids restrained in their car seats and in their seatbelt the proper way, and this car flipped at least 5 or 6 times. Lester, hold up on that picture for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to look on the back seat of this picture, and you'll see a pink boot. You'll also see probably what I think is considered a bag of Cheerios. This ought to tell you the action that this car went through, the flipping action, and all the airbags that went off. And this accident was so serious that even the shoes of all these kids came off, but these kids managed to stay secure in their car seats and in their seat belts. And this is the kind of message that we want to get to the residents of Ascension Parish. Take that extra second, take that extra minute, make sure them kids are buckled in correctly, because most of the accidents that we respond to in Ascension Parish, we don't have this kind of results. I'd also like to recognize tonight my EMS chief, Trish Galino, who was also on the call. And I would also like to recognize one of my firefighters, Miss Kelly Broussard, who was also the first one on the scene that immediately went to the Guidry family and was able to report to us how many kids were involved, and that these kids were able to survive such a horrifying crash. So I hope that we send in the correct message to the residents of Ascension Parish that we do care about you, we do care about your safety, and please take that extra second and make sure these kids are buckled in.
Thank you, James. Guidry, would you please come up? James, what I'd like to do, ask Lester to take these photographs and run them on our TV site, and hopefully get some comments from you about safety and buckling up, and you know, and show the results. And Ms. Guidry, if you wouldn't mind, maybe we could have you also as part of the commercial for public safety here in Ascension Parish. If you want to do so, we would certainly be proud to have you do that. Certificate of recognition. This certificate is hereby awarded to Sarah Guidry and the family. The Parish of Ascension is proud to present this certificate of recognition to Ms. Sarah Guidry and her family. 7-year-old Haley, 2-year-old twins, Gavin and Riley. The Guidrys are being recognized for championing the importance of vehicle safety belt use and the proper safety restraint use for adult and child passengers. The Guidrys were involved in a major vehicle accident on Highway 22 in Santa Maria on Saturday, January 30th, 2011. Because they were properly restrained, emergency personnel believe the Guidrys were able to survive this horrific accident. We join Council Chairman Pat Bell and the entire Parish Council in reverently recognizing the importance of this event and the importance of proper vehicle passenger safety restraint for all passengers. We commend Ms. Guidry for her due diligence. Ms. Guidry, thank you.
have y'all move over this way. Thank you. Take 2 pictures. On 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Next, we have Mr. and Mrs. Ryan. Grant and Sarah Ryan, please. 2 veterans back from the war. We're going to go from there.
Well, I feel like I know these kids. Basically, I've been knowing Becky and Miss Doris and the whole family for most of my entire life, and they're really good people. Recently, we had one of the grandsons that came in, and he had saved his brother from drowning, and just goes to show you that the entire family is brave, and it's not often that we have a husband and wife that service our country like they have, and Ascension Parish is proud to honor you tonight for the job that you did in protecting our freedom and protecting everyone. And you know, we just glad to have you back in one piece. We're glad. I'm sure your mother is, and grandmother and the whole family, and we just proud of y'all as we could be, and we love you, and we want to just make a small, I guess, reward you in a small way for what you've done for us, and we appreciate it. First, just a certificate of appreciation. This certificate is hereby awarded to Sergeant Sarah Ryan. The Parish of Ascension is proud to present this certificate of appreciation to U.S. Army Sergeant Sarah Ryan for her service to our country. Sergeant Ryan has served actively for 8 years, including serving in Iraq. We join Council Chairman Pat Bell and the entire Parish Council in expressing our deepest gratitude for all you do to preserve the freedoms we enjoy here in Ascension Parish and in the United States of America. Sarah? Pat, we also want to present you with the key to the parish. And certificate of appreciation. This certificate is hereby awarded to Sergeant Grant Ryan. The Parish of Ascension is proud to present this certificate of appreciation to U.S. Sergeant Grant Ryan for his service to our country. Sergeant Ryan has served actively for 7 years, including serving tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. He is currently continuing his services in the reserves. We join Chairman Pat Bell and the entire Parish Council in expressing our deepest gratitude for all you do to preserve the freedoms we enjoy here in Ascension Parish and in the United States of America.
I just want to say that it has been truly a pleasure to be able to serve a great nation like the United States of America. All the time that we have spent away from home and each other, our families, is well worth it to see what has gone on there that will never go on here.
Yeah, thanks for giving me the opportunity to come here and serve for 7 years. I appreciate it greatly, and I don't think there's anything other or any other higher honor to serve the United States. So I've done my duty, and y'all enjoy the freedoms y'all have. And thank you, Councilman, Mr. President.
Next, we move to our parish president's report. Our annual report, Lamar Dixon Recreation. Mr. John Vogt, please.
Good evening, gentlemen. I was prepared to bring my 1,000-page report to you today, but in light of the urgency of this meeting, I'm going to condense it down to just a few pages here. I guess the most important thing that we have to talk about is in November 2010, Ascension Parish government made the final payment concluding the purchase of the Lamar Dixon Expo Center. With its last $681,000 payment, the parish now owns a 247-acre facility. The purchase price of $7.5 million is a fraction of its true value, estimated at more than $50 million. And if you'd like to follow along, you've got this little presentation in front of you there. On page 3, you see a nice aerial photo of the event center. If you look right in the center, you'll see an area kind of outlined in yellow and orange. That's our 4-H facility, and that yellow and orange is thousands and thousands of yards of the oil boom that BP has been circulating around from our facility. The vision statement of Lamar Dixon that was established by the Lamar Dixon family says that the Lamar Dixon Expo Center strives to be the premier multipurpose event center in the Southeast region. Our aim is to provide diverse entertainment in a safe and user-friendly environment while contributing to the economic development and goodwill of the surrounding communities. Our mission is to provide the community with a multi-use facility with an emphasis on equestrian and 4-H activities to be used as a resource to enhance community quality of life through recreation, education, and economic development. Our aim is to attract diverse entertainment for the community in a safe and user-friendly environment. In addition, we've developed a new goal just recently, which is to strengthen the economic development of the greater Ascension Parish community by attracting visiting attendees for shows, events, conventions, and meetings, and doing so while maintaining fiscal responsibility, the highest quality customer service, and excellent housekeeping and facility maintenance. Page 4 just illustrates some of the major events that we have that serve both our community and our greater region. Page 5 is a comprehensive list of events that took place in the facility during fiscal year 2010. Now, I want to remind you that many of the events that you see here were multi-day events, and there are also a number of others here that were repeated periodically throughout the year. So even though this is a list of events, it doesn't show the actual event days, but it gives you a pretty comprehensive idea of the type of activity we have here locally, regionally, and statewide, and with an occasional national event as well. The Lamar Dixon has provided a solution in the face of adversity. In 2010, Ascension Parish did not experience a hurricane, but found itself on the front line in the defense against the Deepwater Horizon oil spill, one of the greatest man-made disasters in history. Carrying on its tradition of being a relief center in the face of Hurricanes Katrina and Gustav, the Lamar Dixon Expo Center continues serving as British Petroleum's emergency distribution center for cleanup efforts surrounding the Deepwater Horizon oil spill disaster. What began in July as reserved parking space for evacuations of personnel, supplies, and equipment during the height of the hurricane season almost immediately grew into a 7-day-a-week, 24-hour-a-day supply depot and distribution center for BP's Gulf cleanup operation. The operation of the distribution center at Lamar Dixon will likely continue until the oil cleanup operation is complete. Page 7 shows a similar list of projected events for 2011. These are all events that are on the books. Most of them are contracted. Again, some of these are multi-day events, and many of them are also repeated throughout the year. Among our priorities is to attract new major events and new programming activity to the Lamar Dixon. Ascension Parish is Louisiana's fastest growing parish, attracting new industry, new jobs, and new residents with diverse interests each and every day. The activities centered around Lamar Dixon will strengthen the local economy by supporting local businesses, new jobs, and encouraging new private investment in the parish. In the face of this growth and the need to be self-sufficient, it is important that the Lamar Dixon Expo Center expand the scope and depth of its offerings to the public. In order to accomplish this goal, Lamar Dixon must make improvements to its facilities and operation to effectively accommodate the new business it seeks to attract. Critical objectives in support of operational and facility needs necessary to attract new business and diversify offerings currently being addressed are box office, in other words, ticket sales facilities, cosmetic improvements to the facilities, enclosing and climatizing facilities, building improvements to include dressing rooms and other support facilities, and concert seating. Ongoing needs and I like to call them management opportunities include maintaining Lamar-Dixon's flexibility to assure the ability to host a multitude of different types of events, as well as the number of events that may be hosted. Create a more user-friendly facility that provides year-round open public access and recreation and entertainment activities for users and visitors. Expand weekday uses, the shoulder seasons, and further enhance the venue's ability to draw new major events and new programming activity. Evaluate Lamar-Dixon's facility equipment, safety, and staffing needs to provide a sound operating environment for future success. Address facility maintenance needs. Pursue sponsorship and secure funding. Address equipment needs not secured through sponsorship or other means. Develop a supplemental labor pool, in other words, something like community service workers. Upgrade technology infrastructure. Examine our operational efficiencies and effectiveness. Improve reservation policies and targeted marketing to attract events that support the Lamar-Dixon vision and mission. Perform a rate and fee analysis. Develop a manure disposal or composting plan. Quantify the economic impact of Lamar-Dixon Expo Center to Ascension Parish. And develop and implement a landscaping plan. One of the most important elements we've got to address in our future plans is marketing. And we're in the process of creating and implementing marketing, sales, and service programs that are designed to strengthen the financial stability of Lamar-Dixon Expo Center by maximizing programming, rentals, customer attendance, and concession sales for local, regional, national events taking place at the center. We want to develop awareness of Lamar-Dixon's facilities and services through advertising, sales calls, and other commercial and promotional mediums. Maintain and improve Lamar-Dixon's website. Advertise facilities and events. Develop brochures and other collateral pieces to promote rental opportunities such as concerts, festivals, exhibitions, parties, banquets, and family celebrations. Write and distribute feature articles about Lamar-Dixon to local, regional, and statewide publications. Write and distribute frequent press releases to local and regional media outlets. Reflect the mission of Lamar-Dixon as a community-based institution striving to be a caring and committed provider of services to the citizens of Ascension Parish and the region as a center for entertainment, excellence, and economic development. Emphasize the importance of public and private events for community development and for the economic growth and vitality of the region, particularly to enhance the quality of life and attract corporate, convention, and visitor commerce. We want to develop new programming to reflect the diversity of Ascension Parish's audiences, become a leader in entertainment, create new events, respect the attitudes and values of the community, region, and state, and of the region's history and cultural legacy as reflected in its music, fine arts, and other forms of creative programming and artistic expression. And finally, create partnerships with other community, economic, tourist, convention, and visitor attractions and community economic development organizations, as well as colleges and universities within our area. We have a number of ongoing maintenance programs around the facility. A highlight of those are we've undergone approximately a year of repair and rehabilitation of the HVAC, heating and cooling systems. At one point, 5 out of 6 of our major air conditioning systems were not functioning properly. Now we're to the point where all 6 are working quite well. We're repairing fences that were damaged during the hurricanes. We have work pertaining to the water tower, connecting the sheriff's new facilities to the Lamar-Dixon water supply. We're in the process of rehabilitating the sewage treatment plant and expanding its capacity. We're expanding wireless capacity to include all buildings and RV areas. That gives all of our customers, whether it be trade shows or people that are using our RV facilities, the ability to access the internet, do their business, and it also is a nice amenity. We have an ongoing painting program all over the facility. We're repairing our irrigation sprinkler systems, All of our facility doors are in the process of being rehabilitated. And of course, we demolished the bleachers in the 4-H building. On page 11, it shows a before, during, and after picture of the 4-H facility, resulting in 75,000 square feet of open exhibit space, which in large part allowed us to do our lease with BP, which of course has been a very lucrative program for us. Looking to the future, the alterations of the 4-H building, once we move beyond BP, the 4-H building is a 75,000 square foot open air structure with a concrete floor. This project is to enclose the 4-H building that is used for livestock events and convert it into a multi-purpose climate-controlled reception hall convention center that will continue to be used as a host to host livestock events. A new kitchen and new front entry are also in the planning for that project. Future projects include upgrading site lighting, directional signage all over the site, restriping parking lots, landscaping, develop the manure and composting plan, encouraging a connection, the through connection of St. Landry Road, and gathering support for traffic light and turn lanes at St. Landry and Highway 30. Beth Bertrand will be here later next to discuss the recreational facility, but on page 13 we show another aerial photo of the site from the south, and below that is a picture of a proposed master plan for the recreational facility. And if you kind of line that up with the lake there in the above picture, you see how that fits in with the entire site. Next page is the organizational chart for our staff at Lamar-Dixon, and then finally is a budget, our projected 2011 fiscal year budget, which shows a beginning balance of carrying forth $768,789. Projected revenues are budgeted at $2,115,000. Expected expenditures are budgeted at $1,983,000, which leaves us a net of $132,000, which added to the beginning fund balance would give us a final net of approximately $900,789. The very last page is then a picture, an illustration of the way those funds are distributed, both from the revenue and expenditure sides. Do you have any questions?
Okay, Mr. Vogt. President Martinez.
I want to say that we have secured $9 million in grants that's going to actually pay for the restoration of the 4-H building, to enclose it and to actually climatize it and do some repairs to most of the roofs that we have on the facility. So this is all money that's been applied for and we've been approved for. As soon as BP moves out, we'll probably start those repairs. So as quickly as possible. And it gives us, again, a little over 100,000 square feet of convention center type space that's climatized between that and the trademark building, to whereas we'll have 100,000 square feet next door to each other. So it should bring in a lot of different activities here in the parish. So
which we already have a lot of interest in already,
right.
even with BP in the building.
So anyway, it's going to be exciting, I think, once all this takes place. So.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
And I want to remind y'all that we're midweek during the LSU State Livestock Show. We just dealt with our chickens, goats, I should say poultry, goats, sheep, and cattle. We're doing a changeover today, and beginning tomorrow we'll have some 1,000 hogs delivered along with additional livestock and additional poultry. So wear your boots and come on out and see us. Thank you.
Okay. Councilman Randy Clouard, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, John, I just want to thank you guys and parish president, everybody. This looks like a great plan. I love this recreation.
Well, we want to move
future
forward.
Facility. I just want to, like, make sure that we maintain a healthy advertising budget, that we're out and we're being seen nationwide in all the publications and things where people are looking for this.
Yes, sir, and that is my plan, and that we are actually doing that at this point. We're working on advertising and marketing plans, and we are actually placing ads. I'm working with our tourism folks, and I'm making contacts with the folks in Baton Rouge as well as New Orleans to market the region, not just the one facility, because I think that's where our strength is.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vogt.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move into our, we have our Boy Scouts turnip pickup at Lamar Dixon for the food bank, which happened a couple weekends ago. Mr. Corny Gotro and Richard Gotro, please. Lester, you've got pictures. President Martinez.
I just want to say that it was a heck of an event. If you were there, those scouts picked up actually around 3,000 pounds of turnips that they distributed to the food bank. If we don't know anything else about Lamar Dixon, we know we got good soil there, and we can always open up a community farm. We had one turnip that weighed 5 pounds 11 ounces, and several others that were probably in the 3-pound category. I just want to thank Richard and Lyle and the whole crew at Lamar Dixon for doing this, and I certainly want to recognize the scouts for doing an outstanding job. Pat Bell didn't pick many turnips that day, and I can attest to that, but the scouts really worked hard, did an excellent job, and I think the food really was appreciated by the food bank, so thanks to all.
I was on injured reserve, Mr. President.
He can't pick up more than 2 pounds.
Okay, Richard.
Okay. Slide 1, 2 local Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, and Girl Scouts got down and dirty on Saturday, January 29th at Lamar Dixon to unearth turnips and mustard green. The vegetables were donated to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. Scouts picked a total of 2,990 pounds of turnips and mustard green. Scouts Mitchell Brooks left and Connor Nickens right hold up the largest turnips that were harvested that day. Nickens had the largest turnip for the day, weighing in at 5 pounds 11 ounces. Joining the Scouts are Parish President Tommy Martinez, Councilman Pat Bell, and Jimmy Burris, District Finance Chair with the Cypress Shove District. Cub Scouts Lucas Leaks of Pack 942 pulls a turnip from the rich soil at Lamar Dixon and adds it to the total vegetable donation for the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. Parish crews led by Foreman Lyle Shake Snyder removed more than 500 damaged and nuisance trees at Lamar Dixon, leaving behind large fields with lots of rich soil. Come on. 2-year-old volunteer Alyssa Bruner adds a turnip to the volunteer Peggy Norris's collection bag. Last year, local master gardener Mike Bourgeois planted pumpkins and turnips, and I joined him. The turnips and mustard greens are all maintenance-free, easy to mess with, no chemicals, no fertilizers, anything like that. Volunteer Cassie Campbell adds to the vegetables load headed for the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank truck. President Tommy Martinez and Parish Councilman Pat Bell drove one of the vegetable shuttle vehicles. Michael Manning,
Well, we've seen what Pat did.
President and CEO of the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, takes time for an interview with Clint Falcon, producer with Ascension Channel 21. Manning said the vegetables harvested that day equated to 2,300 meals. Scouts dig with their hands to get the turnips. Erica Babin, District Commissioner for the Cypress Shove District, said scouts from packs 9, 42, 399, 249, 778, 377, along with troops 69, 65, and 377, and the Prairieville Girl Scouts joined in the effort. Ascension Parish Recreation Director Gorney Gotro left, and Parish Councilman Benny Johnson returned with a load of vegetables headed for the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. Councilman Johnson and parish employees red loop, unload freshly picked vegetables while Channel 1 video producer Clint Falcon films them for a featurette that's currently showing on Ascension Channel 21. Cub Scout Jackson Slater of Pack 942 shows off his trophy turnip. Ascension Parish President Tommy Martinez left is shown congratulating scouts and other volunteers for harvesting turnips and mustard greens at Lamar Dixon. Erica Babin, District Commissioner for the Cypress Grove District, hands out turnip awards to scouts and volunteers following the Saturday afternoon event. Shown looking on are Richard Gotro, Parish President Tommy Martinez, and Parish Councilman Pat Bell. Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts, and volunteers surround almost 3,000 pounds of turnips and mustard greens that were donated to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. Scouts from the Struma Area Council's Cypress Grove District, including Ascension, St. James, and Iberville parishes, participated in the event. The food donation harvesting was such a success, organizers are now planning for another one in the very near future.
Okay, Richard, we certainly appreciate such a positive endeavor y'all took. I mean, this is unbelievable. I was glad to witness it myself, all the kids, the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts, the Cub Scouts. It was just a great thing for a very worthy cause.
Yeah,
And,
the kids really.
They got into it. They
Oh,
really
did they?
yeah.
It was awesome. It was just a fine thing.
Is Miss Erica? Is she in the
Yeah,
back? Would you stand up, please, ma'am?
Step up. Come on up.
Yeah, this is my niece Erica, and she's deep into the Boy Scouts, and she did a whole lot to get this organized and going.
Yeah. We certainly
And
thank you,
we
ma'am.
hope to do it next
So-
year too.
Okay, well, Richard, we appreciate you again. Thank
All
you
right.
and everybody that helped you, Lyle, Gorney,
Oh,
the
yeah,
whole staff,
yeah.
everybody. So we appreciate you.
A good recreation effort.
Very positive. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any more on your report, President Martinez?
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, sir. I'll go to the consent agenda section. I'll need a motion, please.
So moved.
Got a motion by Councilman Dempsey Lambert, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Item 8, I have a resolution to delegate the management and recipient authority to the Ascension Parish Tourism Commission for the Louisiana Tourism Recovery Program.
This is,
President Martinez.
This is a grant that came as a result of Hurricane Gustav, and it's our portion. No, this is all spill money, correct? BP money. Each parish received money to promote their parish, and this resolution allows us to give the money to the Tourist Commission. It's a little bit over $100,000.
A motion by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Randy Clark. Go ahead, Mr. President.
That's $113,000. That's all I have.
Okay. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. I believe this had to be in by February 21st also.
Has to be a deadline the 21st.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
we just got the mayor the letter this week, so that's why we put it on the agenda. Thank you.
That's good stuff. Thank you, sir. Committee recommendations, Councilman Chris Lohr, please, Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The recommendations out of the Finance Committee were as follows. Item 9A, approval of Brown & Brown as the provider for general liability, auto, public officials liability, employee benefits and related practices, crime, boiler, machinery, mobile equipment, property, and workers' compensation insurance for the year 2011-2012 for the Parish of Ascension to include agent fees and TPA fees as recommended by insurance consultant Harry Robert.
Motion by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Item 9B, substantial completion of restrooms at DPW and Lamar Dixon.
Motion by Councilman Adrian Thompson, second by Councilman Randy Cluart. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
And item 9C, a new contract approval request, Environmental Systems Research Institute Incorporated, to replace current Intergraph-based GIS system.
Motion by Councilman Todd Lambert. Second by Councilman Randy Cluart. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
That concludes my report.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Recreation Committee recommendations. Chairman Dennis Cullen, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Beth, you going to take care of these, or you want me to do them? Okay, they got the rate changes for the community centers.
Make that motion.
Motion by Councilman Todd Lambert.
Second.
Second by Councilman Chris Lower. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
And to amend the budget to proceed with the skateboard plans.
Got a motion by Councilman Todd Lambert, second
Motion.
by Councilman Oliver Joseph. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. President Martinez, please.
On the A, when you change the rates on anything, it has to be by ordinance. So I'm just gonna, maybe you want to
Make this as an introduction.
change that to an introduction
Introduction of ordinance.
at the next meeting or whatever.
Okay.
It's not a big emergency
Yeah,
item.
yeah.
So if you just say, go ahead and introduce it at the next
Okay.
meeting.
Make that introduction at the next.
Ms. Tony, you'll take care of that? Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Anything else?
That's it,
Chairman?
Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. We'll move into our introduction of ordinance section. Item 11. Go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
This is an introduction for Legacy Oaks Plan Unit Development, expiration and lapse of final development plan. It's rezoning of property back to medium-intensity residential.
Got a motion to introduce Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Any objection? Ordinance is introduced. Item 12, please, ma'am.
This is to revoke 10 feet of existing 15-feet servitude running along the rear of Lot 16 Arrowhead subdivision. The Planning Commission recommends denial of this revocation.
Motion to introduce.
Motion to introduce Councilman Adrian Thompson, second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Any objection? Ordinance is introduced. 13, please, ma'am.
This is the amendment of the fee schedule for the Ascension Parish Counseling Center to add drug and alcohol testing fees.
Motion to introduce Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Randy Cluart. Any objection? Ordinance is introduced. Item 14, we will pass on, Councilman, as we said at the start of the meeting. Before we get to Councilman Todd Lambert, I'd like to once again thanks Ms. Cinnamon and Myra for getting our agenda, getting us straight, getting us together. We thank you. Ms. Tony, thank you. Lester Kenyon, John Conley, thank you for keeping us on the air, putting us on. As always, the parish employees thank us for making us what we are. We appreciate y'all. Thank you. Deputy Poche in the back, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. And one last thing, I know it's early, we got about 8-9 months, but I'd like to announce that we've finalized the date of our Veterans Parade this year. Yesterday at Mayor Arsenault's office, it'll be November 13th, a Sunday at 2 p.m. It's on a Sunday. Sherry Kinchin met with Chief Jackson and Mayor Arsenault, and we'll take the same route down Worthy Road out to East Bank Shopping Center. There'll be more on this. Wade, you and Aaron, I appreciate any plugs y'all can give us. We're starting now. We're going to double the size of this Veterans Parade. We're going to honor our veterans, so we appreciate y'all. Councilman, got a motion by Councilman Todd Lambert to adjourn. Second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert.